Thank you.
Buongiorno a tutti. Adesso la parola
Good
all'onorevole
afternoon to everyone.
Verhofstadt.
Now Mr. Verhofstadt
Prego.
for the ALDE group, please.
Has ended his intervention and also Mr. Kamal started. But I don't understand something not of your intervention, Mr. Kamal. You're first of all saying, yeah, that is not done. And then you are saying two phrases later, but we have to accept it because he is elected. No, it is not because he is elected that he can go against human values and the values of the United States of America. Even an elected president with a majority, and he has no majority of the popular vote in the US, have to listen to the American Constitution, has to listen to the American judiciary. And that is my start of my intervention. In fact, people are saying, or some people are saying in the US, yeah, it helps security. Well, it's nonsense. You have given the figures. Since 1975, all terrorists in the US came from 3 countries: Egypt, Saudi Arabia and Lebanon. None of them is on the list. It are 7 countries, and nobody came from that country since 1975 as a terrorist. So it's pure discrimination. And pure discrimination in a more broader approach, but because it's not only about this religious ban. It's about, fueling populism and nationalism for the moment, what the Trump administration is doing. And that's not only by appointing Mr. Farage as his spokesman here in the plenary, but it's also by having the idea to designate Malloch as the ambassador. And more important, let's be aware of that, Steve Bannon, member now of the National Security Council of the United States of America, a man who is openly saying we want a worldwide right-wing movement to get rid of the European Union, to get done with the European Union, and there they are sitting here. It's our 5th column, the 5th column, because Mr. Farage is working with Mr. Bannon. He sees him on a regular basis to, in fact, one thing, that's to see how the European Union can be destroyed in the coming years. Not thinking, dear colleagues, on one thing, it's a big risk to bet on nationalism and populism in Europe. We got that already in the past. We got already in the 20th century people who thought that nationalism and populism was the solution for our continent. And they have created the gruesome atrocities we have ever seen. 20 million deaths, Mr. Farage, have nationalism caused in Europe. And there is no family in the European Union who have not a grandfather of a grandmother or a son of a daughter who was not victim of that nationalism and of that populism. And that's the reason why we have created the European Union, to overcome that, to make a continent of peace. And I think what I see for the moment, that is an American president. Normally, what does it do an American president? Take Roosevelt, for example. He wanted to be the leader of the free world. I'm now seeing an American president who wants to be the leader of the fight against the free world, against solidarity and against tolerance. And I think it is an existential moment, Mr. President, for the European Union. We can only take one decision. We have the autocrat Putin who wants to divide Europe. We have President Trump who has a populist, nationalist view and wants to disintegrate us. We have the threat of the radical Islamists in the south, and we have our bunch of people here who want to destroy inside the European Union. We can do one thing, that is unite us, fight back as the European Union, and I hope in La Valletta it will not only be the letter, and I support the letter of President Tusk on this behalf, that will be the conclusion. I hope for once that all European leaders have the courage to stand up together with the European Parliament and fight back this bunch of nationalists and populists who wants to destroy us.